ladies and gentlemen, I guess just gentlemen, really, welcome to LeagueGaming.com Day 4 NHL Bidding. We're back at it again for another night. I am your host, F5 Penguin. Find me on Twitter at F5 Penguin, no spaces. Same for Skype. I'm accessible all over the place. Want to introduce yet again my partner in crime for this, sitting all the way in a different country, but we're here together in spirit. It feels good. Tino, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, LG? I'm feeling really good today.
It's been
Awesome.
been a good couple of days, I will say.
Yeah, keeps getting better and better and better.
You know, just because we have better people on every night, it just seems to be that way. we started with Tris, and we just get better every time. That's what happens.
Anything's better than Tris.
Hey, we're still going collusion watch here, so if you want to make sure you tell us the inside info you don't want anyone else to know about, hashtag collusionwatch2014 on Twitter. Go ahead and do that. So that's going to be.
And there's not enough of that, guys. We want some snitching. We want some inside info. It could be anonymous. Use it.
Can it be anonymous? Is that a thing?
Create a Twitter account, whatever email, and then go ahead.
I guess so.
Fill it out.
Hey, how's your team doing there, Tino? I noticed that before we get underway here with bidding, you filled out your team pretty good there.
Yeah, very happy with all my choices. I'm very happy that you're not on my team as well.
You know,
that means a great RD spot for someone else.
You know, that means just you didn't do your job, is what that means.
That means you didn't scout.
Yeah, it kind of means that too.
That means no one is safe. You guys, if no one knows you, if the owner doesn't know you, go ahead and scout.
You're right.
Or send PMs.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Collusion.
Are you happy with your team, though? I mean, at the first day we got together, which was day 2, you only had like 4 players signed up. You had a couple in the wings, but that was it. Now, you got your full team.
I'm very happy with my team. Pittsburgh Penguins is going to be a very hard team to play against. We're going to be very grindy, and the QCs are going to be putting the puck in the net.
Talk to me about your overpaid or not overpaid players. Who do you got that stands out to you?
Well, our highest paid player is I Tactics at 5.7 mil. I don't think he's overpaid. Seriously, I do not think he's an awesome center. He's been playing for a while. I've played with him a couple hundred games, so right there, the chemistry factor is there.
All right, well that's good. I'm glad that you have it together, because I was worried for a while that you wouldn't have any players by the end of this. I really was.
Well, if shit hit the fan, I was gonna go with random picks.
You would have just bid for me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I hate you so much. I really do. I hate you. A bid for me is a bid for the media team, Tino. You know this.
I do. That's why I'm pushing management. Guys, if you need RD, go for F5.
That's right. Hey, Tris even posted in the chat box, hashtag collusionwatch2014. We're taking your comments and questions while we're live tonight. You can find us in the chat box or also over on YouTube, where Tino is monitoring the comments. We will take your questions or comments on air if they're good. So make them good. Tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your friend's dog who's playing hockey right now to tune in and listen to this show day 4. Now, we want to get right into it. I got 2. See, we're getting better. We double it up. It's always better when you have 2. That's what I'm told. So we have 2 people on board tonight. I'll go by their gamer tags because it's just easier that way for you people. First of all, Mr. New Jersey himself, AnthraxDusted. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here, too. It's going to be a fun night. I know you have a lot of chirping to do, but before I let you do that, someone wants to chirp you first. And that, of course, is JPB, Jakeypoobear. How's it, sir?
Pretty good. I thought you were supposed to introduce Nuge as Mr. I Don't Pay Bets. But
already on that.
It's okay. Already on it.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Any welcoming messages for the entire audience listening and watching right now?
Shout out to 256 Represent, Lake, and IR Ghost. Yeah.
I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Suter, LSX04, Winnipeg and St. Louis.
There you go. Anyone we should, before we jump into actual talking about bidding, anybody we should mention that should go for $500K that you want to shout out?
Sean1126, that's a really good guy. I was thinking about bidding on him, but I haven't gotten to it yet. So if anyone else wants him, he's there.
Yeah, that guy's elite. He
Yeah.
also sings "Say Something" by Christina Aguilera in a great big world, a little off pitch. So think about that when you bid on him.
Question in the chat box already for you, Nuge. Who is AnthraxDusted? Look at that. Look at that.
Reward had no idea, but that is actually me. So
That's good.
no.
It's,
Yeah.
for a while, I didn't know either. But that was like 2 seasons ago.
I'm glad you figured it out.
You just put 2 and 2 together. Anyone with reading capability could figure it out, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever called me by my gamer tag, at least in the chat box.
I learned not to after the first time I did it.
Yeah.
You just kind of figure it out.
Yep.
All right, let's talk bidding. We are 4 days left on bidding. 4 days or 3 days and 23 hours, whatever. So far, teams have come together. We've kind of seen everything shape out for the most part. I want to get your guys' opinion first. Let's talk about the teams that are already together. Who's all the way through? Who's not? Who's really surprised you on what they've paid for players? Who's kind of disappointed you? If I can get your back and forth on that.
I'll let Jakey go first.
Okay. Well, as far as teams who are completed and have their contracts in, there's only a couple. Anaheim. Anaheim doesn't even have, but they have their contracts in. Okay, so this
How
is a
about we
little
jump
confusing.
straight up to Pittsburgh
Yeah.
Penguins?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You snaked me on Josh. Josh, of course, is a longtime Pooh Bear.
Illusion.
And, I'm a little sad about that. He's a great goalie. Otherwise, I think Tactics is about overpaid by about $3 million. Jim's really elite.
And a
Tino, you're pretty overpaid. Eddie the Eagle's a really good steal at $500K.
What about the XX Spliff?
I kind of think he's a bum. No, it's a good pickup all around. I mean, you guys look like a solid team.
Look at that. You're getting compliments, Tino.
They have no choice, man. I'm Tino.
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
In from the chat box, read your Skype, Nuge. That's from official Mark, by the way.
Yeah, he wants me to give a shout out to my boy Barney Rebel 2, whose car went up in flames today, I guess. Sorry, man. It's okay. You'll get through it. But yeah, that's it.
Oh, man. So who else? I mean, I know I see a couple of teams that are 15, 16 players. Anybody really stood out for you of what they went for so far in the bidding?
There were a lot of early steals that kind of stood out to me. Winnipeg did some good things, getting Dom QP at $500K, and I think X Ward as well. They don't have their contracts in, but I believe that's what they went for.
Yeah, Dom went for $500K. I know that.
Yeah, those were very good pickups. They're gonna have a tough third line to play against, and I'm not excited to play that team this season because no matter who they throw at you, it's gonna be a good game. Yeah, I mean, there's some other good steals as well. Off the top of my head, I believe on the first day there were some goalies to fall at $500K that I wasn't expecting. I'm trying to find one. I'm sorry.
We can pull up that list right now. Actually, if we go over to goalies and go to one, update the price, and we scroll down, we had a bunch of people. Deadliest Hobo going for $500K, Maverick going for $500K.
X243
Yeah.
was a good one.
Then you had a
Jack
guy, a
Hansen.
former GM for Windsor in the CHL 2 seasons ago, Henrik 30, going for $500K to Boston. So Boston picked up 2 goalies for just over $1 million. Not too bad.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of good goalies. This was one of the strangest biddings that anyone's ever gone through. I know it was a good.
And how's it been going for you guys, particularly as well? You and JPB both. How's bidding gone for you personally so far?
For me.
Well, I am done with Dallas is done with bidding. Definitely would have gone into it differently, knowing kind of how it would have happened. But I mean, hindsight's 2020, so obviously everyone would have been like that. But
What do you mean how it would have happened?
well, I think some people were smarter. I didn't think the prices would rage this drastically after like the third day. Like people, especially Tampa and RJ, they bid on people to their price like right away. They bid Keeps up to 1.5 right away. They bid Achilles Strife up to 4 million right away. And those are people that if they were left around hanging for more than the first 24-hour cycle would have raised their price a lot. So I for sure would have raised people much quicker, like just raised the people that I wanted right off the bat to a high standard rather than kind of like dragging it out a little bit.
Are you happy with who you have?
Oh yeah, I'm very happy with what I have. Mostly me, Odie, just kind of slept a lot. We did a good job. We put a good team together, so I'm excited about the season.
Nuge, how's it been for you over in New Jersey?
I've been sent into some RJ York type rage sessions. I don't know if anyone's seen his chat box presence, but yeah, I've been pretty happy though. I managed to get a lot of guys cheap that I'm really happy about. I knew I was probably gonna be able to get them cheap. I was glad when they finally went final. I went a little bit higher than I was expecting on SMP, but he's a great player, so I'm happy to have him. And I still have a few things in the works, so depending on how those go, like, I have more than half my salary, I think, left, or just under half my salary left to spend. So depending on how that goes, could determine my next.
Yeah, I see you got 3 spots left, and you filled up all your D already, though. So I know you can't bid on me. I know that's what you wanted to do.
We have
but-
1 D spot left.
D, I 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, I see 5. Okay, my bad. So you have me there. That's good. So you filled up 1. Who's your
I
2
believe that
forwards?
bid is on Sean.
No, it's not.
John,
Don't worry.
126. Yep.
No, it's not. It's okay. Who do you? What do you? Okay, so what are you looking for in your offense this season, Nuge? What did you look for when you went for these bids that are already in place?
Well, a lot of it came down to scouting. Played a lot of scouting games. I want to see. Yeah, he has a little bit of a different style. Passes very.
Tino, are you having difficulty getting him on audio right now?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, I am too.
Kind of like he's lagging.
We're gonna disconnect with you, Nuge. We're gonna get you back in just a second. If Tino does that, I'll let JPP take over just for a minute here, and kind of discuss how we've seen the interaction take place between owners. Has there been a lot of conversation? I know there's a little bit of talk on the forums and the chat box about some conversations between owners, but have we seen or were you guys part of any conversations or hey, don't bid on this guy or I'm going to go for this guy? How's that been like backstage?
Well, I didn't live for it like Devin did. I have brief conversations with people like $2 who says that Active should go for 10 million. By the way, Active D for 10 million for you guys, for you owners that still have that cap left.
And talking about 10 million, Space Jam is at $9.75 million.
Yes.
Guys,
One more bid.
One more bid.
We're trying to
and
get that
he's
to
at
11
10.
right now. Let's do that. I'm ready for that.
But I haven't really been in parties with anyone but my own team. Most of Dallas's bidding is with me and Odie, and then the people that we won. Death Studio, who we got for 500K as soon as being started, has been just a gigantic help, like more help than I could have asked for. He's been all on top of it. And then when we got Rayner and Trauby, they've helped us fill out as it goes along. So, but other than that, I talked with Nuge a little bit, but not really anyone else. Yeah, but Devin definitely lived for it.
And you say Devin, who's that for those who don't know?
Above average D.
Gotcha.
Sorry about that.
I heard that I just checked. I can't see it on my side because I haven't updated my cache, even though I refreshed. But Sean did get a bid.
Yeah, he definitely did.
So enjoy that. You guys succeeded in that. We are doing that every night. We seem to be able to shout out one player that should get a 500K bid. And I think we succeeded again. So we're 4 for 4, Tino.
It's awesome, man.
We're doing our job here on LG Radio, LG Sports Network, talking NHL bidding day 4. I want to switch gears just a little bit, but before we do that, I want to make sure we talk to you guys listening right now. This is not a work in progress at all. This is a complete website. What I'm talking about is LeagueGaming.com. We love the tools, we love the people in place, and we love Tris for just taking the initiative and proving that a good developer can do good things. So we want to make sure we give him the appreciation and respect he deserves. The way to do that is by supporting the website. Many ways you can do that. One of the ones in particular is clicking on just the few ads we put in place here on LG to support the website. It's not a for-profit effort. It's really just trying to cover costs of the increase of the amount of people we had on the website. That money will go directly towards that. If you see something you like, go ahead and click on it. The LG ads over at LeagueGaming.com on the main page above the chat box. So
If you have ad block, make sure to set the domain, to exclude the domain from it. If you don't know how, send me a PM on League Gaming, Tino45 Reaper, and I'll gladly help you.
yeah, definitely do that. And also, you want to definitely do that to the YouTube as well. We won't make much money from this at the beginning, but if this goes well and everyone participates in all the media as well, then we'll see money flow in from there too, which again will go directly to support the website and the costs in the server it is to keep this thing running quickly and efficiently. So make sure you do that, support the website. Changing gears, like I said, let's talk about expiring bids, because that's what we do here on NHL bidding shows. Nuge, JPB, we got a couple of interesting players expiring in the next hour or so. Let's talk about a couple of those. There's a $4.25 million left D, Ryudo 2337. There's a goalie, Baghdaddy 1.25 mil. And Z Infamous as a left wing, 500K. So there's a cheap one going in about 3 hours. What do you make of all these this public information? I think we're calling it sniping, even though it's not.
Well, I think any bid pretty much under an hour you can call a snipe. A headshot is under, I would say, 20 minutes, and like a collateral double headshot would be like negative 10 seconds. Fio, Tendi, and Foot are experts at collateral headshots.
I can confirm that.
They, yeah, they're terrible people.
How do you bid at negative 10 seconds?
Well, the clock runs down to about negative 30. So
it depends on your computer, but yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Right.
Server clock that's different than your like clock on your laptop or whatever. Can run a little bit off.
Nice.
And they really get into it too. They send you messages on Xbox Live like counting down the hours for when they're gonna snipe your bid. And then as soon as they snipe it, they send you a smiley face. So those guys are terrorists.
Oh
That's
my
the
god.
best word to
Terrible
describe them.
people. Yes.
Who else is up on the board right now at a cheap maybe 500K million? That's a really good deal that's going right now. That you guys aren't bidding on, obviously. We're not imposing on bids here. I got owners and GMs on. I know that. I'm saying just looking at the board that isn't involving you. Who's still on there that has some value?
I think SVG 11 has a lot of value.
He's at 500K?
Yes, he is.
What are you doing, management? This guy is worth at least $3 million. Let's go.
He's been in the league forever. We were going to bid on him, but we just looked at other options. Active D at 7 mil. I mean, he's at least worth 10.
That's less than 10, yeah.
Right,
We need
exactly.
to go after him.
That's a great bid.
For 500K, Mitch 637. Won't blow you away with a lot of button skill. Great guy, good team player, can fill out any third line.
Bid on him just for his name. His
Mitch
EAS
67.
his EAS at gel name is Rob Reese II.
Oh yeah, you're right. I knew that.
Bid on him just for his name, and you'll have a winner for sure.
Yep. Inspire the whole team.
All year, if you ask coaches in real life or GMs here in the league, you say, "What are you guys trying to do? You guys aren't really winning games. What's going on here?" And they always say it's a work in progress. So it fits in. It's good. It fits right in with the mentality of who that player is online. That's good. Snow Crash is going for $1 million right now. I want to make sure we point that out because I think we did a good job there.
Thank you, Active D.
And Tino, give some insight here. I mean, I know you've been looking at the players a little bit more than I have, obviously, because all three of you are actively participating in bidding here. What's the status on some of these higher priced players across the board? I want to get you guys' take on this. Right now, Bass is at 12 mil, Foster at 11.75, Space Jam again trying to go for the 11 mil we're working on, Lefty for 8. the high price, is it worth it for these players?
If
Well,
Go ahead.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, obviously, when Mr. Hit Dad's bid ended, Lamarana, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, why are you paying that much?" But now all these owners who have been really conservative on their cap and are kind of afraid to spend almost. There are a lot of teams like Yargage, the Islanders, just teams that have just a ridiculous amount of cap left, and there's only so many players now, so it's kind of just how it happened. With only a few spots and they have all this cap, they're looking a little out of hand.
Yeah, I agree with that. You saw it firsthand. I think Bass went to 12, and all of a sudden, off to 7.5.
So Bass goes to 12. Everyone else jumps up in suit just to kind of balance out the valuing of the players that were remaining.
Yeah, I think 12 was some sort of like magical line where I guess.
I'm having difficulty again with.
Yeah, he's still
with
lagging.
Nuge.
Nuge isn't really good at anything, so this is expected.
GG at internet, Nuge.
Good job.
Yeah,
Good job, Nuge.
maybe if you put that $20 you owe me into internet, you wouldn't be lagging right now.
Wow.
I don't know if anyone remembers when I was owning in the other league, I did put a bid of $14 million on one player, and it was a defenseman. It was Tamu.
Really?
Yeah, $14 million. I got shitted on like crazy. I had a shit season. That's why I'm not sure about these guys and their high bids. We'll see how it goes.
Checking in on hashtag Collusion Watch 2014. I don't have anything there right now from today, so we should get on that. If you have inside info, hashtag Collusion Watch 2014. You don't even have to tag us in it. Just post that hashtag. We can find it. I'm just curious. Okay, so looking at a couple of these players, maybe you guys can give me some insight. Again, I don't have the NHL knowledge, and I think it's not publicly known that I spent 3 seasons in the CHL to booster that. That was my goal when I took over some roles actively in the media team down at the CHL level. So I did that. I don't have a lot of talent knowledge up here on the NHL level, and I'm looking at a couple of players, and I'm just seeing some disparity here between a right D at 500K, and obviously active doesn't really count, but then a right D at 5.5 mil. At this point in the game, is there much of a difference? I mean, if you already bidded for most of your players and you have the team you want except filling a few holes, are you just bidding third line right now? Or are these guys, are there still, out of the majority I'm looking at, 5, 10, 15, 20, 40 players, how many of those are beyond third line?
Well, a lot of them. A lot of people. Well, Dallas' strategy was to just fill our lower people as fast as possible. Our second and third lines, just fill them up as fast as possible, and then that's how much we spend for our first line. Some teams say we absolutely need this first line to win games, so we'll bid them as much as possible, and then at the end, we'll just scrap up the back. It just depends on how people bid teams, but these people with cap on them are without a doubt high spots, first and second liners, to the teams that are not necessarily overall skill-wise, but to the teams that are bidding on them, without a doubt, will be for their upper lines. I don't see anyone spending anything over $2.5 million on a third liner. For their team, anyway. They would go somewhere else. That's more of a price that you would spend on a first or second liner.
And especially now, I think you'd agree, JPB, that we've taken two of the better, if not best, leagues that were around and have combined them into this one pool of 1,700 players for the first time ever. And I think there's less disparity between the quality of talent that you'd find, especially on the NHL level. Before, on both sides, on both leagues, you had some really outstanding players, and then it kind of trickled down. You went from maybe an A-plus player to a B player. Now you're kind of at that, it's an A-plus player to an A-minus player. I think you'd agree with that as far as the talent pool is concerned.
Well, I wouldn't say A-plus, A-minus. There are definitely people that are in this, barely passing range. But
oh, really? Okay.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say everyone's an A-minus. Like, there's a lot of people in the league. I don't know how many spots, but there's 94 is at each position. 60 D-men. So there's a lot of people. There's not that many A pluses to A minuses in the league.
Intriguing, and that's throughout the NHL. I was just, I played NHL here, and the level of play was different, but it was still a higher level of play than AHL, CHL, obviously over here, and then over on LA, that was more established. That you had the NHL guys, AHL guys, CHL guys, and there was very big differences between the style of play. Your thoughts on what you'll see this season now that everything's together? Are we going to get better, worse? Is there going to be more disparity, less because of this merge?
Well, there's definitely going to be more parity here. In the VHL, which is where I'm from, there were maybe 3 or 4 super teams that really were the only ones competing for the cup. I mean, there may have been people who felt like that they were in the middle, that they could win the cup, but in all reality, when that last season ended, it was a 4-team race. But now it's everyone for the most part. I mean, there's 1 or 2 at the bottom, but it looks like everyone's incredibly even except for 1 or 2 outliers.
And I can't
on paper.
Yeah, on paper, yeah.
On paper, yeah.
I was going to say, does it look like anyone's truly stacked? Putting your bias towards your own team aside, obviously, for the sake of the conversation for the show, does it look like any one team is stacked here that they're going to take it away and run, go back-to-back maybe?
Well, Nuge thinks he's the second best team in the East, but that's, very debatable. I think
I don't
LA
even have a roster yet, so...
I think LA
definitely
is the clear favorite just because
Tampa
of
Bay
the skill they
is
have
up
in
there,
management. Yeah, Tampa Bay. They're probably the people on paper who look like the 2 favorites. And then, of course, everyone thinks their own team is up there, but I don't know what else to say on that topic.
Fair enough. I got a hashtag Collusion Watch 2014, Ryudo ending in 5 minutes, load up the snipers. I'm just throwing it out there. That's what I do here on the show. We got 2 minutes left on the show, guys. I want to get any last thoughts. If you guys want to have a conversation about whatever, now is your chance. Go ahead.
Well, Nuge, as you know, you are $20 in the red for me. Would you like to make a bet this season to attempt to clear your name?
Double or nothing?
Well, I have no debt to you. However, I will never turn down a bet, so let me know.
Hold on. Before we do a new bet, can we talk on both sides here what the old bet was and why Nuge thinks he doesn't know you?
Okay, well,
Thanks.
exactly, thanks. He's very mistaken. In the VHL, he ran Detroit and I ran Boston, and we were in the same division of the same conference, and we bet each other. He actually made a thread calling me out, saying that my team sucked and that he would bet me $20 that his team had more points than my team in the standings and that I'm bad, etc., etc. And then with 2 weeks left in the season, I was 19 points ahead of him, and he was sitting in the toilet fighting for an 8th seed.
You are missing a major, major point. So, at the beginning of the season, I did make that thread. He was scared to take the bet and didn't take it. Then 3 weeks into the season, he was around 10 or 12 points ahead. And he came back to me with the bet, obviously, because he wanted to make some money. And I took it because I have a pretty big ego. And then the season got cut short. So, I don't know any.
Tino, I got to get your thoughts on this since you're playing judge here for this one, I guess. You kind of got thrown into that role. What's the deal? What's the verdict here? Is Nuge clear, or is it double or nothing?
double or nothing.
Fair enough.
Definitely.
Nuge,
Yeah,
you've been,
double or nothing.
You've been declared double or nothing from Tino, which obviously means the most official thing ever.
I agree.
Yep.
And,
I don't know if I trust Tino's judgment here.
What's the bet here? Let's hear this new wager. We'll put it on air. We'll put it officially right now.
Well, I would like to do 2 bets.
Okay.
I believe we play each other in the standings twice.